Hey,
We're
we're
here.
live.
Oh, there we go. Thought it was going to stay dark.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to another week of
None of those.
religious movies. All right. So, we had some good ones this week, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought they were good.
I'm having trouble remembering them already, even though we just went over the list.
Of course, because they're not terror horror, so therefore they're not memorable.
Well, not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily. Okay. So anyway, the first one is what?
I found my water. I was thirsty.
Because they wanted an armpit shot.
Did I get my pits?
All right, so Joyful Noise from 2012. So this one was recommended by Sabrina. So thanks, Sabrina, for this recommendation.
I didn't catch it.
You caught part of this. You came in kind of on the tail end of this one.
I thought it was Sister Act 3 or something.
No. So this one had Queen Latifah. She was kind of one of the main characters of this one. It also had Dolly Parton.
I saw Dolly Parton. Remember that?
Which was kind of fun. I like to watch Dolly Parton. I think she's a lot of fun. She gets made fun of a lot for looking fake and all this stuff, but man, that woman is super talented, and she's not a terrible actress either. So I like watching her, and of course, Queen Latifah is always entertaining. Since every movie she's in is very entertaining.
When I first saw Dolly, my first question was, is this a newer movie or an older movie? And then I saw Dolly Parton. I thought, oh, okay, it's a newer movie.
Yeah. So this one was from 2012, so it's not super new.
Oh, okay.
It's like 12 years old.
She looks new.
No.
That's what I meant.
Okay, so this movie was about a church choir who wants to win this specific choir competition that they have for years and years and years tried. The minister of their church basically told them, if you don't do well this year, we're cutting the program. So we don't have the funding to give to a group that's not successful, basically, he said. So
they should have gotten into MMA, raise the funds that way, like Here Comes the Boom.
Because that has anything to do with the church choir.
It was the music program of the school.
Anyway, so they end up deciding to go to this competition and just sing for the reasons that they should be singing, to sing to glorify God. And so they go and they stop caring about what the pastor says about winning or not. They just go to give it their all, have a good time, and praise God, which is the reason that they were singing in the first place. So it was really just and you kind of see some drama between the choir lead and Dolly Parton, which was Queen Latifah and Dolly Parton, because they both kind of were in leading roles in the choir, I guess. So Dolly Parton's husband in the movie, he was the choir director and he died suddenly. And so then Queen Latifah was the one that was chosen to take over for him. And so she felt that Dolly's character was jealous because she took over, but really that wasn't the case. Dolly's character was just trying to give good insight and things from what her husband had, or how her husband had led and what he had learned over the years of leading the choir. So it was just kind of a misunderstanding, and they got it worked out by the end and ended up working together. And
gotta have that conflict in there, though. Otherwise, the story would be really boring.
Yeah, it kind of would be.
So what makes movies.
It was good. I would probably give it a 7. I thought it was good for 7.
I'll give it an NA.
All right, so if you want to check out a good Dolly Parton, Queen Latifah, yeah, who would have thought they would have been in a movie together kind of movie, that's the one to go for.
Whoa, excuse me.
All right, the next one is called Priceless. Our friend Linda recommended this one. So we had seen Priceless before, but it had been a while.
It's been a few years at least.
So it was good to kind of watch it again and see. You want to talk about this one?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it I can't remember if we watched it in this house or the last house.
So this is from 2016.
And we watched it when it was fairly new, so it could have been.
Yeah,
could have
it's
been the
like
last
8 years
house.
ago. It's probably about right. It's probably about when we watched it, 7 or 8 years ago.
So the story starts out with this guy, and he's just kind of talking about his beginnings. He had a family, and he's on the road all the time because he had accepted this job of transporting cargo without asking questions. And then
because he needed money, and the only way the other jobs weren't hiring him or weren't giving him a chance, and so he decided to go along with this gig because it made really, really good money. But the deal was that he couldn't look at the cargo. He couldn't.
Did his wife die or
his
leave?
Wife died?
Okay.
And so then he didn't have the money to support his daughter, so his daughter was taken from him and given to his mother. So he was wanting to work to get his daughter back. I
think he fell asleep at the wheel or something caused him to go off the road during a job. And then so he heard some voices in the trailer. So naturally he went to go find out who was in there and finds these two women. They're sisters. And then he befriends them, tells them that he's not a threat, and they warm up to him.
First he tells them they stink.
Yeah.
And that they needed to take a shower.
Yeah, they stop at the truck stop so that they could freshen up. And then he completes the job, which means transporting these ladies into the hands of these other folks, which I'm not sure what may have been going through his mind where...
They told him they wanted to be there. They told him they were working off a debt, and he believed that.
Oh, okay. And so he didn't find out until later on, even when the recipient drove off with the girls, he realized, oh, what did I just do? So he had some regret there. And then, so that's what sets off the story, is that he finds out that there is a trafficking ring. And so he is trying to get them back. And he finds out that this motel owner he knows the kinds of business that kind of goes on in this area. And then he kind of, the little voice in his head, well, if you feel like there's something bigger at play here and you feel like you need to do something, then maybe you should act on it. And so
there was a specific reason why it was so important to him, but you got to watch the movie to find out what that is.
It's, I think it was pretty well done.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty emotional. I think it's up there as far as the emotion goes with Sound of Freedom, but I think Sound of Freedom might have been a longer movie.
Sound of Freedom was more, I think,
it was heavier.
To me it was because it involved children, small children, like 5 years old children, and so many of them. Hundreds.
It's all sick, right? So these kinds of movies, it's nice that there is a happy ending.
Not that adult female trafficking isn't bad. That's terrible too, and I'm absolutely against it, and it's appalling. But it was just so much harder to watch the one with children.
Yeah, and I hate seeing kids being the victims of things in movies.
Yeah,
really at any time.
Me too.
So it's a good watch, and. I guess we don't want to give away the rest of the details, but worth to watch. I would probably rate it a 8.5.
I agree. I would give it an 8.5 to a 9. It's really good.
Excuse me.
It's really good. Okay, so that was Priceless from 2016. The next one, it was actually an autoplay after Priceless was done. So we were up really late that night because we watched 2 back-to-back movies. But it just is one that played after because it was similar to Priceless, I guess. Similar category of some sort. But it was called Break Every Chain.
Who sings that song?
From 2021. Oh, I knew you were going to ask that.
I can't remember, so I don't know if it had anything to do with the song. I don't know I can't recall the words of the song. I can never remember the lyrics to these things.
Yeah, I don't either. But yeah, I don't even think the song played in the movie.
Yeah, probably not.
No, so I don't think it had anything to do with that. But this one had Dean Cain in it. That was the
Smallville.
big name that I knew from that. But this movie, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so you learn that this couple is about to get married, and he was a cadet in the police force, and he jumps right into his career, his first day on the job, and he sees a lot more than he can handle, and he turns to the bottle.
I mean, right off the bat, his first day was
heavy.
a death.
Yeah.
Right, like their very first call.
Some kind of young adult.
Yeah, a girl, 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that right there just started to haunt him, and seemed like it just showed clips of job after job after job that was just traumatic death. And he ended up on this special force team, I think, that dealt with that kind of stuff. Like,
he got promoted to
that.
The branch of police officers that ride the motorcycles.
Yeah.
So I forget what I think of Chips, but I know that's not.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Chips?
Yes, I do. But he was kind of fighting some personal demons then with this. He had been a drinker before, and these traumas kind of threw him into alcoholism, basically. Yeah. And it shows how it kind of, one day at a time, started ruining his marriage. It started ruining his career. It started just really weighing heavy on him. And you could see glimpses and scenes where he knew he shouldn't be turning to that, but the pull was too strong to go in that direction. There
was a scene where he had a moment where he realized that, okay, I can't stop drinking, or I have to stop drinking. And so he took all the bottles that he hid everywhere, put it in the garbage bag and into the garbage can. And I was saying this out loud. I said he should have broken the bottles, because sure enough, later in the movie, he goes back into the trash can and takes them out.
I was like, oh man, he's just asking to pull those back out.
So I think the movie itself covers nearly 10 years, because you see 1 year later, 8 years later.
Yeah, because his daughter is 10 years old by the time he cleans his act up.
But what I felt like that the movie didn't have any time lapse. I felt like maybe a year could have passed, because the characters didn't seem to carry that change with them. And so the movie didn't feel like, I guess, like a Castaway.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It all kind of felt the same.
Different actors and actresses to age the characters.
Well, the way they behaved and conducted themselves, it felt the same. It didn't feel like 10 years of change.
Yeah, and I remember saying towards the end, man, that little girl sure is acting so immature and young to be 10 years old, which is what the time lapse said.
Yeah.
She didn't look to be a 10-year-old either, I didn't think.
So we learned at the very end that this was based on a true story. So I guess that's why they had to put those jumps in there, because perhaps this testimony of this guy took that long. It's a positive outcome in the end.
It is.
Which is good. And it
was a good story.
It deals with probably the worst kind of trial that a married couple can go through.
Yeah, which you got to watch it to find out what that is.
Yep.
But it was good. It was good for him to realize his faults and realize that his family was worth fighting for versus his bad habits or his
this addiction,
faulty addiction desires, things like that. So yeah, it was a good story and a good turnaround at the end. So it had closure. You guys know how I feel about movies with no closure. Well, this one did.
Yeah, it did.
This one had a good ending at the end. So
I would probably give it a 7. There was just a little bit of clunkiness with the way they assembled the story, because it's a 10-year period that they're trying to cover.
I probably agree. I like the story overall. I like the message it's giving. Some
of the acting
clunky's a good way
to
weird. To put it. Yeah. So It was a decent autoplay. I mean, it could have been way, way worse or something we didn't even choose.
We had another autoplay. It was an older movie. It was 2 movies played in a row. Oh, Drew Barrymore had 2 movies that played in a row.
Drew Barrymore. When was this?
Was it her? Drew Barrymore? Is that her name?
No.
Or am I thinking of...
Lindsay Lohan.
No, it wasn't even her.
That was last month.
It was no. Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon. Which movies?
Where the boy that she liked died underneath the tractor that he was pulling. You remember that?
Oh.
That was an autoplay.
Yeah, early Reese. You're right. Wildflower.
Her first 2 movies.
Wildflower.
It's her first 2 movies.
Yeah. So, that one was, I mean, it was okay. It was okay.
Why did I start talking about it?
Because it was an autoplay.
Oh, yeah. That's right. See?
That wasn't a terrible autoplay. I mean, I've had movies autoplay. I'm like, how is that anywhere related to the movie I just watched? It has nothing to do with it at all. But this one actually followed the theme, and it was good. It was a good one. Okay, and then you guys know I like to try to hit series now and then. So there's a series that I've been watching for a while. I'm not done with it because I don't get a lot of time to just sit and watch the series. But I did spend a couple nights this week that we kind of had other things going on.
Several episodes last night.
And yeah, we watched several episodes in a row the last couple nights. So we figured we better include it this week because we watched that instead of a couple movies. So it is Sweet Magnolias. So I'm really liking the story, and I like that overall it's clean.
Yeah.
There hasn't one word in all of the episodes that I've watched, and I'm pretty far into it. I think I'm pretty close to the end. One word, and it was in the last episode I watched last night at the time that one of our sons walked up. Hey, Miyoko, how's it going?
Hey.
So it had just one word. So that's all I've heard is one cuss word the entire series. So it's good. It's clean. I feel like I can watch it with the kids still up and around.
And one of the leads is the girl from Reba. She was Reba's daughter. The sitcom Reba. I can't remember her name, and I just saw it on the credits.
Joanna Garcia Swisher.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
And then there's Brooke Elliott and Heather Headley. They're the 3 main characters that have the most interactions. There's several other actors and actresses also.
You know what? It's
Jamie Lynn Spears is in this. So Britney Spears' little sister. There's some big names. I mean, Chris Klein is in it.
I remember Chris. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Medlin. There's some big names. There's some big names in the series, and it's well done series. It's good. Of course, it's a small town romantic drama type movie.
Reminds me of
or show.
Small town business and stuff. Reminds me of Gilmore Girls because that was a small town.
Yeah,
everybody knew each other.
Yeah, but this has completely different storyline.
Yeah.
So the reason this fits into religious theme is because the town, being a small town, it's very much united, and they unite with the church as the center, which is kind of awesome. Their pastor is female, which there's some disputes whether that's appropriate or not. But
which character is the pastor?
So she was in the last episode with the main character, with Joanna's character. They went out and had dinner together.
Oh, okay.
And she's kind of the pastor kind of had the hots for this guy, and so they were kind of going out together to kind of get to know him a little more.
Okay.
So she brought a friend with her to kind of get to know him. So that was neat. I don't know what's going to come of that. It didn't really show that. It just kind of showed a glimpse of them going out together. But it shows she's good. I mean, and the stories that she gives and the sermons she gives are good. And the town as a whole really tries to work together. There's a lot of talk about prayer and being united and kind of standing up for each other and with each other. And it's got a lot of really good values in it. I think it's a great show. I think it's a really great series.
Not a perfect family in sight. So
No.
if that's realistic from that
And you've
standpoint.
got your town dude that goes around and messes with everybody, right? So he has like a kid with 5 different women. So I mean, there's scandal, just like there would be in any small town kind
Any
of
town.
situation, but they don't promote the scandal. They see it as it's a bad thing that's
Yeah.
causing
That's
trouble in their
different.
town and causing trouble with the people in their lives. And you can kind of see how the scandal just kind of makes their lives fall apart a little bit, and they've got to try to figure out how to pick up the pieces and make things right with the people around them that they've wronged. And
I think
so
today's advice is follow your heart.
yeah,
Like, I know that's a bad idea.
yeah, that doesn't always work out the way that it should. So it's a good, wholesome series that it's entertaining and it's got a great storyline and it keeps you wanting to watch more. I think that's what's missing in a lot of series. I get bored after a while. Why
And
am
I
I
can-
still watching this? Or
And I can
this is-
tolerate this one.
yeah. So I tried to watch some other ones like The Handmaid's Tale, for instance. I guess that would fit in the religious stuff too. So I tried watching that, but it was just so over the top bad. Like what they did to these people and what these people went through. And it was just so over the top that I literally could not stomach watching more than one episode at a time.
Was it?
And I would have to give myself like days between episodes before I could go back and watch another episode.
You think it was as dystopian as? It's at the tip of my tongue. It was not Johnny Brockovich. Harrison Bergeron. You remember that one?
Oh,
That was a very dystopian film.
I would say
also.
this is worse. This is worse.
Hmm.
I mean, terrible.
They were killing people, weren't they?
Yeah, in horrible, torturous ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so bad. So bad. I never did finish it. I gave up on it and said, it is not worth my emotional well-being to watch this type of show.
So check out
So,
Harrison Bergeron instead.
I mean, at least it's only 2 hours long.
It's got Sean Astin in it, Mr. Samwise Gamgee.
So that movie reminded me a lot of the classic book Brave New World, where it kind of talks about.
I hear about that in politics all the time, but I haven't
Yeah,
read
I mean,
it.
the book is so.
Who's the author? Do you remember who the author
It's
is?
an old
Yeah, it's a
book. I mean,
classic.
written long ago, but it's kind of the future of
dystopian
how the
film.
world is going to go. Like that, it's basically lays out the liberal plan for the future, and it's eye opening.
So does Idiocracy. There's some of that's happening too now that we're on the.
So in Idiocracy, apparently Starbucks becomes a strip club.
And Costco has mile markers because it's huge.
Mm-hmm. And Hardee's sells, what is the drink?
Oh, I can't remember.
Hardee's is like the biggest restaurant ever in this movie. And it's just some green drink or something. And they all drink it like an energy drink.
It's got electrolytes. It's like
It's
Gatorade.
so they don't drink water. Nobody knows what water is. They don't know how to get water.
Water,
Everything is
like from the toilet.
So we are getting way far off of our topic here.
Well, do we have another movie?
No. So I guess it's okay. So yeah, when did we review Idiocracy? What month? Oh, it was wasn't it October? That was scary month because it was it was scary.
I guess I wouldn't be
to think.
surprised if we reviewed it then.
I'm pretty sure we did because I think Dan was the one that recommended we do it. But I think it was last year.
Oh,
Last
yeah.
October. I don't think it was this year's.
Yeah.
Because we watched some pretty scary ones this year. Yeah, but anyway, Sweet Magnolias.
Oh, yeah, that's
From
right.
2020 to current, it's still going on. Right now, there's 30 episodes out there. So
I asked her, is that based on the movie with Dolly Parton from a long time
that's
ago?
Steel Magnolias.
I totally got the titles
it has
confused.
nowhere near the same, not set in the same town, not
Yeah.
the same storyline at all, nothing similar. So, no. If you're expecting Steel Magnolias, this one is not that.
Got it.
They're not the same.
Here's my sign.
Oh man. All right. But Sweet Magnolia is very good. I would probably, I don't know, for a series, I would probably give it a 9. It's right up there for me.
And I'll give it a 7.
For the 3 episodes he watched last night.
And it's not a show that I would pick, but
he was asking questions. Hey, what's going on with this? Hey, why is this going on? And so it made you curious.
And
you got into the story.
I tolerated Gilmore Girls. If you want to criticize my character anymore, what?
Better not talk bad about Gilmore Girls.
They talked faster than Ben Shapiro. I cannot imagine.
I do have to give you that. Lorelai talks super, super fast.
Both of them do.
And there were some points where I had to turn on the closed captioning because
they fit.
I couldn't read her lips and she talked so fast.
So much in the script for that show. It's got to be pages and pages.
Yeah. Good one. It's good too, though. So Gilmore Girls is good. Stop. We're not saying nothing about that or Friends. If you bad talk Friends. Oh, we're done.
Joey with the turkey on his head. That's funny. And then the mitts. The mitts.
He's my lobster.
Oh, I wasn't even. I'm talking when they had calamine lotion and they couldn't scratch themselves.
Oh. Yeah.
So they wore oven mitts.
But he's my lobster.
Another tangent.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so that was our 4 for this week. Joyful Noise from 2012. Good one. Queen Latifah. And then Priceless from 2016. Also good one about human trafficking.
Probably my favorite one this week.
Yeah. And then Break Every Chain was about addiction. It's 2021. Good story. And then Sweet Magnolias from 2021. It's a good series. So check those out. We would recommend all 4 of those this week. They were all really good. So give them a watch. And our movie for Tuesday is Along a Different Line. It's a more imaginative movie.
And it's been a long time since I had seen this movie.
I thought I had seen it, but I hadn't. I had not seen it before.
Well, I don't want to start talking
about
it. Now we're about to start talking.
You have a bad tendency of giving me the name. So check that out on Tuesday. It's a good imaginatory. Yeah. Is that a word?
Tom Hanks is so good.
Stop. There's no Tom Hanks. All right. Anyway, before he gives it away, check it out on Tuesday. And then, of course, our Friday faves. Are you going to be able to do that from out of town?
I have, in place of Friday faves, have been these short horror film reactions. And this week, there might be.
Sorry, you guys.
See, I like all of these. I haven't watched horror films really since October.
Really?
Yeah. Since October. I haven't watched any.
Yeah.
Besides these.
Leprechaun was on the list for last month, and he poo-pooed on it.
I did poo-poo on it.
I actually wanted to see that one because it's a classic horror from the 80s.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Why did I poo-poo it?
Right?
Instead, we got the guy chugging his fingers at somebody else's door.
But, then we've heard people talking about it a couple times since then.
Yeah, we did.
So it's come up. Ben Shapiro, wasn't it? Or one of them guys.
One of their shows.
Brought it up.
Somebody in their comment section was talking about it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Because there was this one guy who didn't feel right unless he cut his fingers off. So he had his fingers cut.
I mean, really? Okay, so if you're upset at somebody talking to you, is that really your first instinct? Oh, let's go cut my finger off and throw it at his door.
Don't make me do it.
Who in the right mind? That's the thing. Nobody in the right mind would do that. The man was insane. Yeah. He had to be insane.
So, with the Friday faves is going to be
we digressed again, didn't
we? These short film reactions, and there might be, if I can arrange it, could be a guest. Have a special guest.
Who? Okay. I don't know what you're going to get. I don't know what you're going to get on your Friday faves. So I'm sorry in advance because I have nothing to do with Friday faves. That is all his doing.
doing?
I helped pick Tuesday's movies, but Friday faves, and so far all the shorts have been his doing. So
They're so consumable.
good luck to you if you watch them.
We'll see how many I can belt out this week. We'll see. It's gonna be a longer work week.
Okay, so there we have it. That is what we have for you for this week. So 4 great shows. Give them a watch. Let us know what you think in the comments, and please share about our lives. We would love to get some more interaction, some more people up here.
Why would they share about our lives, like our lifestyle, our live streams? Oh,
Because you need a little of that entertainment, right? I'm not the only one that has to put up with it now. You guys get to see it in live action.
She said the house is going to be boring when the kids leave. And I said, you have me.
I look at him for a second, confused, and go, oh, yeah, you're right. It's never going to be boring.
She's stuck.
Anyway, all right, guys.
Those little lives.
Oh, that's what makes them entertaining, right? So anyway, thanks guys for jumping on and interacting with us. Share our live videos with your friends. Tell them to pop on.
Not lifestyles.
Hopefully once school ends, there'll be some more people that'll hop on, teachers and friends and other things. We have a lot of teacher friends who just say this is too late for them. So hopefully they'll be able to hop on and kind of interact with us once school is done.
Yeah. Why would you go outside and play when you can just watch us?
I mean, 9:30. It's dark by then, even in the summer.
Yeah.
So when you come in from outside, jump on our live and interact. All right. Anyway, we're digressing. Again, we just wanted to talk. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. And we'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.
Oh, see you later. See you later.